why not check out Gardening with Ben's merchandise today on www.gardenandallotment.com. On here you can buy some fantastic hoodies which are all funny with fantastic quotes on, like "I'm not growing old, I just need repotting," or "sometimes I just wet my plants." And also there are mugs available and lots of other gardening gifts and presents available to purchase today. Check them out.
Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben. This is my new podcast show which I'm launching today, so make sure you click that subscribe button. In these episodes we're going to be talking all the things about gardening, allotments. We're going to be sharing tips and advice. Hopefully we'll get some guests on as well. What to plant right now, how things are looking on my allotment, what you need to be planting and around the seasons, and looking at articles gardening related and sharing the tips and advice from them as well, and basically just chatting to you on a regular basis. So I hope you enjoy these episodes. We'll be bringing them regular for you to listen to on all platforms. So thanks for listening and I hope you enjoy the episode. So as this is my first episode here on the platforms, I want to share with you about how I got into gardening and what I get out of doing gardening, as gardening is so good for the mind and the body, and it's very therapeutic, and everybody that starts the hobby absolutely loves it once you get into it. So about 25 years ago, I was helping my dad on his allotment, and the way he got started is in our local community they started advertising saying that there was some allotments near us and there was only one tenant left, and if nobody else took up the allotment it looked like they could possibly get rid of them. I don't know if you're allowed to nowadays, but there was only one tenant on an allotment, and thinking now, one tenant on an allotment site which has got about 30 plots on it is unbelievable, because there's that many waiting lists around for allotments nowadays. So there was one tenant left, all the allotment site had gone to wilderness, it was all derelict and unmanageable, and a group of community people got together, they got funding in, they got the allotments all cleared, they got roads built on the site, they got water taps installed. And one of the things that I always say is, if you're looking at getting an allotment, always check to see if it's got water on site, as you can catch water obviously when it rains in the winter time and store it all up, but if you have a summer drought you will not have enough water. Trust me, I've been on loads of allotment Facebook pages and groups, and people were struggling one year in the drought season and they were having to carry the water to the allotment themselves in the cars and basically take it to the site to water the plants so that they didn't die. So one of the key things to look for when getting an allotment is making sure it's got water on the side. So basically he got an allotment and I was probably about 13, 14, and I used to help him regularly on his plot, learning how to garden, grow things with him and enjoy it really. So when the time came that I was around 18, I thought, why am I helping my dad when I'm old enough to have my own allotment? They're not expensive and I can do it all myself. So I applied to the council and got myself my own allotment, and since 18 I've had my own plot. I'm now 35, so work out the maths for that, I'm not very good at maths. So it's certainly been interesting. If you were to look at my site now, you probably wouldn't think that I've been there that many years, as there's still lots of work to be done on it. I'm forever changing my plot and redesigning it. I always set myself winter projects to do, as obviously nothing is growing in the winter, so I like to do improvements in the winter time as it's an ideal time to prepare it all and get it all ready for the year ahead. So basically that is how I got into gardening, and since then I've absolutely loved it. And this year more than ever, as obviously we had the first lockdown in March, April time, and you weren't allowed to go anywhere in the first lockdown, literally, but you were allowed to go to the allotment sites. The council will still let you go to the allotment sites. So I spent all day, all the time down there enjoying. It was actually a heat wave down then as well, so it was good weather, and I enjoyed being out in the fresh air and doing my allotment. So that is one reason why allotments are beneficial, as it's a great open space to spend time and enjoy being in the fresh air. The best thing about having an allotment is that it's all experimental, as there are absolutely hundreds of seeds and fruit varieties, different types, different sizes, different colours, produce that you wouldn't see in the shops. You can even get purple carrots, black tomatoes, purple cauliflowers, which I've grown this year, and it's just amazing trying different things, and even having little competitions like who can grow the tallest sunflower or who can grow the biggest pumpkin. I weren't too good on my pumpkins this year, they didn't grow too big, but it's all good fun. It's about having fun gardening and enjoying it rather than it just being a chore. And growing vegetables is one of the tastiest things you can do, as when you're growing your own vegetables, you're not using all the chemicals and pesticides which the shops will use to keep the produce to last longer in the shop shelves. And the taste of homegrown potatoes, they just melt in your mouth. They're absolutely so delicious. You wouldn't believe what a homegrown potato tastes like. It's so different to the shop bought ones. And even corn on the cob. They say that as soon as you pick the corn on the cob, it starts to lose its flavour. So as soon as you pick the corn on the cob, you have to take it home, cook it, and eat it. And my gosh, it's absolutely delicious. The taste from a homegrown sweet corn, you can't get any better than that. So what exactly is gardening with Ben? Well, gardening with Ben started off originally as the Yorkshire Gardener, as I'm from Yorkshire, so I started up a Facebook page called the Yorkshire Gardener. Basically, the Facebook page was for me to document when I planted stuff, how I planted it, where I planted it, and how well it actually grew. And so then I could look back the year after and see how things have grown, if I planted it at the right time, or where I planted it, as a lot of stuff you're not meant to plant in the same spot the year after. So I started documenting it all, keeping track of it all, and then suddenly I just started getting followers from the local area, and I thought, wow, people are getting interested in what I'm doing. And then it started going worldwide, like Australia, America, and I thought, blimey, people are finding it interesting what I'm doing on the allotment. I couldn't believe this. Just little old me getting on with my gardening, sharing what I'm doing, and the interest what I have in gardening. So then I thought, I'm going to have to start sharing tips and advice, because people are seeing what I'm doing, or they're learning how to do it, and they want to know how to do it themselves. So I started sharing tips and advice. Then I started doing live videos from down on the allotment, which I'm telling you, it took so much guts to press that live button on Facebook and go live down on the plot, because I thought people will ask me questions that I don't know the answer to. I'm just an amateur gardener. I've been doing it for years, but I'm still learning all the time. And I thought, if people ask me stuff, what am I going to say? So if I don't know the answer, I'll throw it out to the rest of the people that are watching and let them answer, because there's lots of other gardeners out there and they all get involved as well, and it seems to go down really well. So yeah, I've started doing live videos, and I started off with like 1,000 followers. Then next moment it's at 5,000, and then it's got up to 15,000 followers. I thought, wow, I really can't believe how many followers I've got now. So when I got to about 10,000 followers, I thought I really need to make my page more professional. So I thought I need to rebrand it. As I was reaching a bigger area, I weren't just focusing on Yorkshire. I thought I need to change the name of it so that it reaches everybody. So hence I called it Gardening with Ben. Quite a few of my followers were calling me by my name, not the Yorkshire Gardener, and obviously if new people joined, they wouldn't know what my name is. So I changed it to Gardening with Ben. I lost a few followers, I'll admit that. Obviously a few people weren't impressed with changing the name of it, but there you go. But it's still growing and growing on a daily basis, and I still can't believe how many people are following it. So I've created a website for myself, which is gardenandallotment.com, which you can find all tips and advice on. I put monthly tips and advice, share recipes, videos. I've even got a shop on there now selling products with hoodies on, which are ideal for Christmas. Hint, hint, with funny slogans on, like sometimes I just wet my plants, which is a funny one. So yeah, I'm not growing old, I just need repotting. So I've got some great designs on now, which I've had done, and they seem to be going down really well. So if you're looking for a Christmas present, head over and have a look at them and get some ordered. So yeah, the Gardening with Ben brand has grown, and currently I'm unemployed. So I'm looking at different ways of getting this platform bigger, as it's something that I absolutely love doing and I would love to do it full time. So I'm looking at different ways of building the brand, hence why I've started the podcasts. I'm going to be doing more of these on different tips and advice on what I'm doing down on the plot, and just having a general chat as well, really, so that people can listen as they're driving or down on the allotment or in the garden. So I hope you do enjoy them, so click that subscribe button. So I hope you've enjoyed the first episode, finding out a bit about gardening with Ben and how I got into gardening. As I said, I'm on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, Gardening with Ben, and you can check out my website, www.gardenandallotment.com, where I share all my tips and advice. So make sure you click that subscribe button to these podcasts and get listening to my regular episodes. I hope you've all enjoyed it, and remember to rate it and stay in touch. Thanks for listening, everyone, and remember, as always, keep gardening.